So you watched my last video and you're sitting there and you're like, man, I leave for basic training in a month. I leave next week. I leave in 2 weeks. And you're just like, crap. I'm just so out of shape right now. I'm not physically ready. I'm just, I didn't mean to stress some of you guys out anymore, because one of the reasons I make this video or these videos is to give you guys a bigger picture and help you guys understand what you're going to go into. And the last video that I made talked about how to physically prepare for basic training, and I talked about the things that you should be doing. And some of you were like, oh crap, my running is so bad, I don't want to be that guy at basic training that their cardio is just horrible and you just ruin it for the whole platoon all the time. And I didn't mean that for that video to come across that way, because I know that if you do the stuff that I said in that video, you're going to be one of the most prepared people there, because it just astounds me how many people join the military and don't realize the physical requirements, right? So if you join the military, whether it's Marines, Air Force, Navy, Army, Coast Guard, all those branches, right? If you join a branch of the military and you don't realize that literally a part of the job description is to be physically fit, then I don't really understand what you're thinking here, right? So I just never got it when people were getting ready to go for basic training. And before I joined, I saw some of my friends joining, and they did not really prepare at all. They ran 2-3 times a couple months before, and they're like, I'm just gonna wait for basic training to come and they'll get me in shape. And I just didn't really understand why somebody wouldn't want to be in the best shape of their life before they go and do the hardest thing they've ever done. It never really registered in my brain, because graduating from basic training is one of the biggest accomplishments in my life, and it was one of the most physically and mentally demanding things I've ever done. And you kind of know that going into it. You kind of know that it's going to be difficult physically. You kind of know that it's going to be difficult mentally, yet a lot of people don't train and get ready for something that's going to be difficult. It never really registered to me, but in this video I definitely want to kind of reassure you guys and let you guys know that if you have a month or less left until you leave for basic training, you still have time, right? You still can just hammer your body and just kill yourself running and doing push-ups and all that stuff, even if you have a week left. Now if you leave like tomorrow, I'm sorry, if you haven't done anything up until this point, that's on you. But if you have a month left, if you have 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 1 week left, you can still do something every day. Because I mentioned this in the comments, but I'm making this video kind of as a reply to my last video, because a lot of you guys have very little time until you leave, and I don't want you guys to think that you're going to be one of the worst shape of the guys in your company, right, or the girls in your company. But it's not like that, right? So whenever you get there, there will be a lot of people that are out of shape. But the thing is you don't want that to be you, right? But on a side note is you will end up getting in shape, but it's going to be more difficult for you, right? So just imagine everybody's doing the same thing, and you have one guy who runs a 25-minute 2-mile, and you have one guy who runs a 15-minute 2-mile, and you're both wearing 20 pounds of gear, and you got to run a half a mile or something. You got to do some bear crawls or something like that. Which one of those guys do you think is going to be easier? It's definitely going to be the guy who's got the better cardio, because he worked and he had the self-discipline to train beforehand to do that. So it's not like it's going to be the end of the world. You're not going to be the guy that's going to screw over your platoon because you're just so out of shape. It's not really going to be like that, because you will get in shape, but it's going to be a lot more difficult. You're going to be a lot more tired, and you're going to be more sore and everything. Like I said a million times in my video so far, life is just easier when you're in shape. It really just is. Especially in the military, life is just simply easier, right? Now specifically, if you have a week left until basic training, from speaking directly to you guys, if you have 1 week left or less until basic training, I would honestly just do something every single day I would run every day. I wouldn't try and run freaking like 20 something miles a day. You might actually hurt yourself because you're not used to that. But I would definitely do something every day, because at reception, you're going to have time to rest. The mistake that I made was I worked out really, really, really hard, and then essentially about a week or so, a little bit less than a week, but about 5 or 6 days up until reception, I kind of just chilled out. And I didn't really do that much because I didn't want my body to be sore at all whenever I got to basic training, because I thought, because there weren't that many videos out here like mine, because I thought that reception, as soon as you get to reception, is when it starts. But that's not how it is. When you get to reception, that's when you just kind of just chill around and you're going through lines and you got stuff, and you have a couple of days for your body to rest. And if I would have known that, then I would have worked myself all the way up until the day before I left, and that's what I would have done. But I didn't. I rested the entire week before, and then at reception I had a whole another 8 days to rest, because you weren't allowed to do any physical activities except for the one day when you do that thing, which you can check out my reception video at Fort Benning if you guys are interested in what it was like. If you have a week left, 2 weeks left, I would do something pretty much every day. 2 weeks left, you might have a couple rest days in there, but if you got 1 week left, just go for it. And going all the way up to a month, if you have 1 month left until you leave for basic training, I would really utilize what I said in the last video, which is do some running or some exercises every other day and progressively increase the difficulty, because you would be surprised at how much you can improve in 1 month. At basic training, it's like 3 months or something like that, and you really get in a whole lot better shape just in those 3 months. So in 1 month by yourself, if you really work at it, if your 2 mile run time, if you actually did it yesterday, if you actually did that today, and your 2 mile run time is like 25 minutes, you could get that sucker down way below 20 minutes in just a month, right? So you could do that, but it's all up to you. You need to take that responsibility upon yourself to actually have that discipline to go out and actually do the exercise and the work needed to be in better shape. Now, if you don't do that, like I said, life is going to be more difficult. It's going to be a lot harder when you at basic training. You're going to be doing the same thing that other guys are doing, but you're going to be a whole lot more tired. And yes, you could get yelled at more if you can't do, if they're telling everybody to do push-ups. This is another thing. If they're telling everybody to do push-ups, they're telling everybody to basically do push-ups until failure. You don't ever really see a drill sergeant, they say, drop and do 20 push-ups, and if you can only do 15, then you're just done for, right? What the drill sergeants do is they'll just say drop and do push-ups. They won't say how many. You just go until failure. So it doesn't matter if your failure is 70 push-ups or if your failure is 40 push-ups, you're still going to reach failure. Now, whenever they're smoking you guys and you're doing planks and you're doing push-ups and all that stuff, it doesn't matter if your max is 25 push-ups or if your max is 100 push-ups, you're still going to reach your max. You're still going to reach exhaustion. And that's not the thing. The thing is the next day, you don't want to be extremely sore and extremely tired. Even that day, you don't want to be just exhausted because of those 100 push-ups that you had to do. You want to be like, oh, I did, a couple hundred push-ups every day before I came. I'm ready for this. You want to be ready for it so that the next day after you've been smoked, you're not just dead and you're sore and your chest is hurting. Because if you guys have ever done like bench press or a whole bunch of push-ups before, your chest is sore, so you don't want to do anything the next day. But you don't have that luxury at basic training to say, hey, hold up, drill sergeant, I'm feeling really sore today. My chest is kind of hurting from those push-ups you made us do. Can I just kind of sit out today? You're not going to be able to do that. So you're just going to be in even more pain, and you're going to have to do more push-ups. And that's just how your life is going to be for the first couple of weeks, because you didn't properly exercise. And again, if you're leaving tomorrow and you haven't done anything, tough luck. So do as much as you can at basic training or at reception. Do some push-ups and stuff like that. But you're not going to be able to run at reception. At least we weren't allowed to run. You'll be able to do push-ups and sit-ups in your barracks at reception. That's basically it. I did that. You guys should do that. So if you guys are leaving for basic training in less than a month, hopefully this video kind of helped reassure you that things are going to be fine. If you have a month left, if you have longer than that left until you leave, feel lucky so that you can get in shape. If you're leaving in a week, do as much as you can in as little time as you can. Do multiple day workouts. So work out in the morning, work out later in the afternoon or at night. Do what you can to get in shape. Again, your life will be easier. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave comments down below, future questions that you have. I'm going to try and help you guys out as much as I can before you guys leave in the next couple months. So good luck to you guys. If this is the last video you see, good luck. Have fun. Work hard. Don't give up. That is the biggest thing. If you try your hardest and you don't give up, that is the biggest thing, and the drill sergeants and your peers will see that. But if you give up, if you quit before you actually, your body is dead, people will see that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.